Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crafting and Crime Daily. I'm your host, Rebecca, and I recap live trials. So you have something to listen to while you're diamond painting or watercolor painting or crocheting or whatever craft it is that you enjoy. Currently working on a diamond painting. Can't really show it to you because it's super large. If you watch my live on Sunday, you'll be able to see it. I'll clean off the table and I'll show you how far I've gotten. Still have quite a bit to go. It's a huge painting. All right, coffee before I get to the trial of Adam Montgomery. And like I said yesterday, he wasn't there. He didn't show up. So they had the opening statements in the morning, and then in the afternoon, they presented 9 witnesses. 9. All pretty short, on and off the stand pretty quickly, but some had some interesting things to say. That's delicious. So before I get into the specifics of what these witnesses said, just want to refresh your memory about what this trial is about and ask you to please subscribe and hit that notification bell. You want to hit all. I always forget that. Hit all and give me a thumbs up. There you go. How easy was that, right? Okay, so one of the things I've noticed that's different that I've never seen before, and it's not a big deal, but I thought I'd mention it. The attorneys are the ones that swear in the witness. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you God. I would have left that out. Upon penalty of perjury, that kind of thing. It's interesting. They just do things a little different there. So the first witness was Michelle Rafferty. Now, Michelle Rafferty, I do need to tell you about this case. Adam Montgomery's on trial for the murder of Harmony Montgomery. Harmony Montgomery, at the time she went missing, was 5 years old. Her body has never been found, but there is going to be a witness who's actually on the stand today, his ex-wife, Kayla Montgomery. You know what? I don't know if they've ever gotten a divorce. Anyway, Kayla Montgomery is on the stand today, and she is singing like a bird, and she is going to detail how he murdered Harmony Montgomery. Now, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail during my recaps about how this murder occurred because it's just not necessary. But this occurred on December 7th of 2019, and she was not reported missing by her mother until 2 years later. And then when she did get reported missing, Adam is saying, "Oh, I dropped her off at her mom's for Thanksgiving," and and Kayla was backing up his story then. So the first witness on the stand is Michelle Rafferty. Now, Michelle was Harmony Montgomery's foster parent. Here's what you need to know about Adam Montgomery, Kayla Montgomery, his wife or ex-wife, not sure, and Harmony's mother, Crystal Sorey. All of them had a drug issue, had drug problems. So Michelle Rafferty at the time was a foster parent. So she gets a call that they've got this child. So she fostered Harmony Montgomery, her and her husband Timothy, for off and on for 4 years. So she had Harmony 3 different times. The first time she had her was for about 2 months. Then she went back to her mom. I don't know what happened. She didn't go into detail, but she gets returned to her, to Michelle Rafferty, returned to foster care. She lived there until she was 2.5 years old, and then she gets returned to mom. And then she got her back when she was 3 years old. And after that, she went to another foster home, because I believe at this point in time, Michelle and her husband Timothy, what she said was, and I'm not sure what to make of what she said. She said, we were having parent co-parenting difficulties with the Department of Children and Families. So I don't know if she meant with the social workers or if she meant with the mom. Who is she co-parenting with? I suspect it could be the mom, but I'm not sure. She wasn't asked. So anyway, she said that Harmony was born with in 2014 and came to them with a very intimidating diagnosis. Um, and I have never heard what she said. Like she had some word that I mean, I'm a medical person. I used to be a nurse. I never heard of this word she said. I suspect what she meant to say was hydrocephalus, what fluid in the brain. Um, but I'm not so sure. But anyway, later on, she says she was misdiagnosed. She was told that Harmony only would live to about 7 months of age and that she was legally blind in both eyes. Well, she came to learn that Harmony had difficulty seeing out of one eye but could see out of the other, and that diagnosis was not correct. And they eventually diagnosed her with septo-optic dysplasia, which has to do with the eyes. So she wore glasses, and she said developmentally she excelled. She did not fall behind developmentally. She was a bright, fun-loving young child who she potty trained, uh, and she said she was completely potty trained. At an early age, she potty trained herself because I had a house full of older kids, and she just wanted to be like them. So she kind of potty trained herself. So that was her testimony. She said she last saw her in December of 2018, which is a year before she was deceased. So that was her on the stand. Next witness was the mom, biological mom. Crystal Sorey takes the stand, and she's asked about her background. She never made it through high school. She dropped out of high school, didn't get her GED. She has other children, but it didn't come out during the testimony. June 7th of 2014, Crystal gave birth to Harmony Montgomery. She admitted to being a recovering drug addict, and she said at the time she gave birth to Harmony, she was struggling. Um, so she last saw Harmony in April of 2019. So she had, I don't know if it was court ordered visitation, but she had a visitation schedule where she would go to see Adam and Kayla, and she would visit with Harmony. So her last visit was April of 2019, and she was not allowed to take Harmony away from the home. Adam had to be present when she was there, and yeah, it was the visits were short. So she last saw her in April of 2019, and every month thereafter, she would try to get a hold of Adam Montgomery so she could come for her visit. And the only way she knew to get a hold of him was Facebook, him and Kayla, because they would not give her their phone numbers. So eventually, she figures out that he and Kayla have blocked her on Facebook. So she creates a new name under Facebook and tries to contact him, and he still is not paying any attention to her. So in 2020, she goes to the police, and you know, she said she talked to everybody she could think of. She talked to counselors. Um, she said she talked to the police. She said she would go to anyone who was a mandatory reporter because, and the reason she wanted to go to these people because she had no contact with her daughter, and Kevin, the uncle of Adam Montgomery, the defendant, had called and told her, "Hey, I saw her with a black eye," and Adam said he had beat her. So she said she even wrote to the mayor, but she got nowhere with any of these people. And that was pretty much the extent of her testimony. Yeah. She was tearful at times. You can tell that she really loved Harmony and she missed her. So the next witness on the stand was a nurse practitioner from the Catholic Medical Center who saw Harmony on June 2nd, 2019, when she came in for sores around her mouth. And literally, she was only on the stand to say how much Harmony weighed. At that point in time, she weighed 35 pounds. Now, I don't know what context is, I don't know how to put that into context at all. So then the next witness was Kevin, the uncle of Adam Montgomery. Now, I don't know what was wrong with this guy, but he said he was a plumber and he's done some other things, blue collar stuff. And this is how he talked, the way I'm talking, like hesitantly. He would be asked a question and there would be this long pause, like he was thinking about it. And then he would say, "Could you repeat the question?" At one time, he was asked about the names of the children that lived in the home with Harmony, because Kayla and Adam had two little boys. And he says, "Oh, yeah, I'm familiar with the little boys." "Well, what are their names? Do you know their names?" "Yeah." "What are their names?" What was the question? It was just so weird. And I don't know, he said he was subpoenaed to be there and that he wasn't really doing it voluntarily. They had to subpoena to get him in there. He didn't really want to testify against his nephew. But his answers were just sometimes very like he was confident in the answer, and most of the time, I don't know, it's just really spacey to the point that I think there was a few sidebars, and I think what happened during the sidebars is that the judge probably allowed the prosecution to lead him because he wasn't answering direct questions. So I think they allowed him to do a leading question with him. So he was living with Kayla and Adam and the three children and with his mother, which would be Adam's grandmother, in a house on Guilford Street in New Hampshire. And the house was owned by his ex-wife and his mother. So his mother moves to Florida. He goes to Florida with her. She has a triple bypass surgery. 3 weeks later, he returns home. And he is in the kitchen and he sees Harmony. And he said she had a full black eye, like a raccoon. And so he was asked to describe what he meant. "What do you mean by raccoon? What do you mean by a full black eye?" He's like, "All the way around." So, and then when he asked, "Well, what did you do in response to that?" He says, "Well, I asked Harmony, what the fuck happened to you?" And I'm thinking, why would you use that language with a 5-year-old? Um, and he repeated this a couple times verbatim, using the F word in front of his child. And then Adam told him that he had been on the toilet having a bowel movement. When he got done, he came out of the bathroom and she was suffocating his infant son, Declan. So, and that's how she got it. So he left the home. He spent that night, and then the next day he left. He went somewhere else. But he contacted everybody he could think of. He contacted her biological mom, Crystal. He contacted the foster mom, Michelle. He contacted the Department of Children and Families. And he just wanted to get some help for Harmony. So at one point, the attorney asked him, "Are you conflating your story?" And the guy goes, "Conflating?" Even I said, "What? Conflating? What? What?" He's like, "I don't know what that means." Anyway, that was his testimony. And I have to tell you, the defense is not asking a lot of questions. And that there's really no need, because the credibility of these people is not really an issue. Just wait till they get to today's witness. Yeah. So the next witness, oh, by the way, those two little boys, their names were Seamus and Declan. Aren't those unusual names? Seamus and Declan. Okay, so the next person on the stand is Katie Morin. She had been in the rehab facility with Adam Montgomery, and they started to have a romantic relationship. Now, I thought if you were in recovery, you were discouraged from having relationships for at least a year. Or is that just AA? I don't know. I'm, 12 steps, people, 12 steps. Do they still do 12 steps? I think they do. I don't know. Anyway, they were romantically involved in 2021. Now, this is a year and a half, 2 years after Harmony's been murdered. And she said that they were having lunch one day. Oh, by the way, she was aware that he was married, but that he was separated from his wife and they had not seen each other in quite a while. So they were having lunch one day and they were talking about their kids. And she understood that he had 5 children under the age of 7, all from the same woman. Not true. Anyway, they were discussing their children, and he made the statement, the worst thing that he had ever done is he walked out of the bathroom, found Harmony suffocating his infant, and he backhanded her and broke her glasses and gave her a black eye. There you have it. Okay, so that's the first charge. That's charge number 1, where he is charged with the physical assault of Harmony Montgomery in July of 2019. The next witness was a gentleman by the name of Nicholas Ahern. He's 34 years old, and he says he's known Adam since he was 18 years old, so a long time. And he had only seen Harmony Montgomery once, and just for a very brief period of time, but in July of 2019, when he saw that she had a black eye. He said it looked like a pretty severe injury. So he asked Adam, how did that happen? And Adam told him that she was playing soccer and got into an accident. And so he was asked by the prosecutor, did you believe that? And he goes, well, I've got kids. These things happen. Yeah, I believed it. And that was his testimony. So they were on and off the stand that quickly. Yeah. Next guy, deputy sheriff. Literally, I don't know why they brought this guy. All he had to testify to was that in November of 2019, November 27th of 2019. Now this is days before, a week and a half before Harmony is murdered. He served the eviction notice to them on that Guilford address, the house that they were living in. So, and he didn't have anything unusual. He said it went as expected. Nothing happened out of the ordinary. He said, I saw at least 2 kids. There could have been more, but, and that was it. That's his testimony. Defense, no questions. Okay. Now we're going to get to the social worker with the Department of Children and Families. Now, actually, I think they call it the Department of Children and Youth and Families, something like that. DCYF, same thing. So he was a child protective service worker. He's not anymore. Now he delivers mail. He's a postal carrier. And he actually started being a postal carrier in September of 2019. But he was a CPS worker in July of 2019. So 2 months after he gets Harmony's report, he's off. He's gone to another job. So he received a report of injury for Harmony Montgomery, and he understood it to be an anonymous report, but he later learned that report had been sent in by Kevin, Adam's uncle. So he tried to make contact on July 29th with Adam. As he's pulling up to their home on Guilford, he sees Adam and Harmony. Well, he sees Adam and a little girl. He doesn't know that that's Harmony. Get into a vehicle and they drive away. So he actually makes contact with someone in the home, and he later learns that that was Harmony, and so he's going to have to get a hold of him another time. So he said he attempted to call him later that afternoon, unsuccessfully. And what he had planned to do was get a hold of him and arrange a time that he could come and do a home visit. Then he tried him again on August 1st, and when at that time Adam made some kind of excuse like my child is sick, and I think Harmony's coming down with it, whatever he has. So can we do this another time? So he does eventually get out there to see Harmony, but it's not until August 7th. So almost a full month after she's had this black eye. So time to recover from the black eye. So he does finally, on August 7th, have a face to face meeting with Harmony Montgomery. And he says his usual practice is to get the child alone, away from the parent. But in this case, he cannot recall. And his report did not reflect whether Adam was in the room when he interviewed Harmony or in another room. He doesn't recall. But he had her take her glasses off so he could see her face. And he said she had a small red mark under her eye and some discoloration near the red mark. So Adam explained to him that he had bought these lightsabers for the kids, and that she got hit in the eye with a lightsaber. So that was his involvement there, and he was not asked a crucial question, and I'm not sure why that. What were your ultimate findings? And his ultimate finding would have been that it was, in fact, the defense represented in their opening statement that he did not find any evidence of abuse or neglect, but he wasn't asked that specific question, which I find curious because opening statements aren't evidence. So they need to get this guy to say that, but he didn't. So he, on another occasion, January 8th of 2020, he was called back out to their house when he received a report. Oh, wait a minute. He's still working for them? Hold on. He said he went to the work for the post office. Maybe he was working for both of them? I don't know. Huh. Or maybe it was 2020 when he started working with the post office? I don't know. But anyway, he said he got another report in January of 2020 that came in through Crystal Sorey, the biological mom. Remember, said she was trying to get a hold of these people? And he was never asked, what was the report? What were you asked to investigate? He was never asked that question. I suspect it was that she was missing. So he called Adam Montgomery on the phone, and Adam told him Harmony was now living with the biological mom. So he said he attempted to reach Crystal Sorey and left her a voicemail. And that's it. Now, here's what the defense did ask him. Did you find anything else concerning her well-being on that July or August visit where he had her take her glasses off and saw the red mark? He says, other than that red mark, did you see anything else that was concerning to you regarding her well-being? Nope. Nope. So that's where court ended for the day. They ran out of witnesses because it went very quickly, and so it was still early afternoon when they adjourned for the day. So today I peeked, and I know that his ex-wife Kayla is on the stand. So she'll probably be on the stand all day long because she's got a long story to tell, and I want to try to unravel all the lies that she told before she came up with this latest version of the murder. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of finger pointing here. You know, he did it, she did it. how are we going to tell? They're both not real credible people either. And did I mention he's not in court? He, now, is he in court today? I didn't see if he was in court today for Kayla's testimony. I would think he would want to be there for his wife's testimony, but I could be wrong. Yeah, I don't know. All right, that's the show for today, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. It's Friday. Friday. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I know. I'm excited. I love the weekends. So this weekend, I'm going to focus on the Michelle Draconis case, so I make sure I update you on Monday. Yes. So enjoy, guys. I will be live on Sunday at 11 a.m. It's my usual, just my Sunday chit chat live. I'm going to show you the crops that I worked on all this week, and we can talk crime if you want to. See you then. Bye, everybody.